What if the countdown to extinction had begun, and there was nothing we could do to stop it? Mercury, the innermost planet, becomes a cosmic bullet aimed straight at Earth. How would we face our impending doom? Welcome to TM What If. In this chilling episode, we're not just examining a planetary collision, we're delving into the psyche of humanity under the shadow of unavoidable annihilation. We'll explore the catastrophic environmental upheavals, atmospheric ignition, global tsunamis, tectonic ruptures, and ponder the moral and ethical dilemmas of our final days. Would society descend into chaos or rise in unity? This isn't just a scientific inquiry, it's a profound meditation on life, legacy, and what it means to confront the end. Join us as we navigate the darkest corridors of possibility, challenging everything we believe about survival and the human spirit. The unthinkable becomes possible. In the grand scheme of the cosmos, planets orbit their stars in stable paths, governed by the laws of physics and the gravitational pull of celestial bodies. So how could Mercury, our solar system's innermost planet, suddenly veer off course and head straight for Earth? To understand this, we need to consider the delicate gravitational balances that keep our solar system in harmony. According to Dr. Scott Tremaine, a professor of astrophysics at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, even minor gravitational perturbations can have significant long-term effects on planetary orbits. One possible catalyst could be a rogue celestial object, such as a passing star or a massive comet entering our solar system. In fact, in 2018, the discovery of Oumuamua, the first known interstellar object to pass through our solar system, reminded us that space is far from empty. If such an object were to come close enough, its gravitational influence could disrupt Mercury's orbit. As per simulations conducted by researchers at the University of California, Santa Cruz, even a slight alteration in Mercury's trajectory could set off a chain reaction of orbital resonances. This means Mercury's new orbit could intersect with Venus and, ultimately, Earth. Another intriguing possibility involves the hypothetical Planet 9, a proposed massive planet lurking in the outer reaches of our solar system. Astronomers like Dr. Konstantin Batygin and Dr. Mike Brown from Caltech have been investigating this elusive planet's existence. If Planet 9 does exist and has a more substantial mass or a different orbit than currently estimated, its gravitational effects could ripple inward, destabilizing the orbits of the inner planets over millions of years. Here on TM What If, we love exploring these mind-bending possibilities. While the chances are astronomically low, the laws of physics don't entirely rule out such scenarios. Now that we've set Mercury on a perilous path toward Earth, let's explore the signs we might observe leading up to this cosmic collision. Early warnings. Long before any potential impact, astronomers worldwide would begin noticing anomalies in Mercury's orbit. Observatories like the Mauna Kea observatories in Hawaii and the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, before its unfortunate collapse, have been instrumental in monitoring celestial bodies. Scientists at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, in California, would likely be among the first to detect subtle changes in Mercury's orbital speed and distance from the Sun. Dr. Amy Mainzer, a leading astronomer at JPL, has emphasized the importance of tracking near-Earth objects, NEOs, and potential threats. With advanced equipment like the Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, WISE, deviations in Mercury's orbit could be detected years, if not decades, in advance. As these anomalies become more pronounced, the global scientific community would collaborate to verify the data. Emergency conferences would be held, perhaps at institutions like the International Astronomical Union or the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs. The realization that Mercury is on a collision course with Earth would send shockwaves through governments and societies worldwide. The United States, leveraging agencies like NASA and the National Science Foundation, would likely take a leadership role in coordinating a global response. The media would play a significant role in disseminating information. News outlets from CNN to the New York Times would feature expert analyses, while social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook would become hotbeds of speculation, fear, and, unfortunately, misinformation. But beyond the media frenzy, what would governments and scientists propose as solutions? Would we attempt to alter Mercury's trajectory? Could we evacuate the planet or find ways to shield ourselves from the impending doom? Let's explore the potential human responses to this existential threat. Humanity's response. Facing an extinction-level event, humanity would be compelled to unite in ways previously thought impossible. International cooperation would become paramount. The United Nations might establish a planetary defense coalition, bringing together the brightest minds from around the world. The US, Russia, China, and members of the European Space Agency would pool resources, technology, and expertise. One potential solution could involve attempting to alter Mercury's course. Scientists might propose deploying nuclear propulsion systems to push Mercury off its collision path. This concept isn't entirely new. Projects like NASA's Double Asteroid Redirection Test, DART, aim to test our ability to deflect asteroids using kinetic impact. Scaling this up to move a planet, however, presents challenges of an entirely different magnitude. Dr. David Morrison, a senior scientist at NASA Ames Research Center, has discussed the limitations of our current technology in deflecting large celestial bodies. Moving a planet like Mercury would require energy outputs far beyond our current capabilities. Nonetheless, in the face of annihilation, extraordinary efforts would be made to develop new technologies. Private companies might also play a crucial role. SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, has ambitious plans for space travel and colonization. Musk has often spoken about making humanity a multi-planetary species. In this scenario, efforts to establish colonies on Mars or the Moon could be accelerated. Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin might contribute by developing heavy-lift launch vehicles to transport people and supplies off Earth. Meanwhile, scientists and engineers would explore options for massive underground shelters or even underwater habitats. Concepts like the US government's Continuity of Operations Plan could be expanded to preserve not just government functionality, but the survival of the human race. Psychologists and sociologists would also be crucial in managing the societal impacts. Dr. Stephen Taylor, a professor at the University of British Columbia, has studied the psychology of pandemics and mass panic. His expertise would be invaluable in mitigating hysteria and promoting cooperative behavior. As we grapple with these Herculean efforts to save humanity, the clock would be ticking. Let's fast forward to the moments leading up to the potential collision and examine what might happen. Approaching impact. As Mercury draws closer, the effects on Earth would become increasingly severe. Gravitational interactions could start to cause noticeable changes in Earth's orbit and rotation. Tidal forces might lead to more frequent and severe earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Scientists at the US Geological Survey (USGS) would monitor these changes, issuing warnings about seismic activities. Astrophysicist Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson has often spoken about the fragility of Earth's position in the cosmos. He notes that even slight alterations in our planet's tilt or orbit could have drastic climatic effects. We might experience extreme weather patterns, with some regions facing unprecedented heat waves, while others plunge into deep freezes. Astronomers would observe Mercury growing brighter in the sky each night. Amateur stargazers across America would witness this ominous sign with both awe and dread. The media would provide constant updates, and live feeds tracking Mercury's approach would dominate television and internet streams. Governments might enforce martial law to maintain order. Essential services would focus on preserving life and preparing for the worst. Shelters would be stocked, and evacuation plans, although limited in scope due to the global nature of the threat, would be implemented where possible. Religious and cultural responses would vary. Some might see the event as an apocalyptic prophecy fulfilled, while others might find solace in community and spirituality. Mental health professionals would be in high demand to help people cope with the overwhelming stress and fear. As the day of reckoning arrives, humanity would hold its collective breath. Let's delve into the catastrophic impact and its immediate aftermath. The Cataclysmic Impact. Dr. Mark Boslow, a physicist known for his work on impact physics, has studied events like the Tunguska explosion and the Chelyabinsk meteor. He explains that even small asteroids can cause immense damage due to the high velocities involved. A planetary collision would vaporize the Earth's crust at the point of impact, creating a shockwave that would propagate around the globe. The immediate area of impact would be obliterated, creating a crater larger than any known to science. Debris would be ejected into space, some of it potentially reaching as far as Jupiter or Saturn. The Earth's atmosphere would be stripped away in parts, and the sky would glow with incandescent gases. Tsunamis thousands of feet high would race across oceans, inundating coastal cities like New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and Houston. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, would attempt to model these waves, but the scale would surpass all existing data. Wildfires would engulf continents as superheated air ignites vegetation. The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, would be rendered powerless in the face of such widespread ecological destruction. Air quality would plummet, and breathable oxygen would become scarce. The collision could also alter Earth's rotation or tilt. Dr. James O'Donoghue, a planetary scientist, explains that changes in angular momentum could lead to longer days or a shifted axis, further disrupting climate patterns. Surviving the aftermath. In the wake of such devastation, the prospects for survival would be grim. Yet, humanity has shown remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. Could pockets of life endure this cataclysm? Deep underground shelters, like the Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado or the Svalbard Global Seed Vault in Norway, are designed to withstand significant disasters. If these facilities survived the initial impact, they could serve as refuges for survivors. Moreover, extremophiles, organisms that thrive in extreme environments, might persist. Scientists like Dr. Felisa Wolf-Simon have studied microbes that can survive in high arsenic concentrations or without sunlight. Such organisms could form the basis of a new ecosystem over time. Rebuilding civilization would be an immense challenge. With infrastructure destroyed, communication networks down, and resources scarce, survivors would need to rely on basic skills and cooperation. Lessons from history, such as the rebuilding after the Mount Tambora eruption in 1815, which led to the Year Without a Summer, could offer insights, albeit on a much smaller scale. In the long term, Earth's environment might stabilize. Geological processes could eventually heal the planet's surface. As seen with impact craters like the Barringer crater in Arizona, nature slowly reclaims and transforms affected areas. Over millions of years, life could evolve anew, potentially giving rise to new intelligent species. But before we resign ourselves to this fate, let's revisit the question: could humanity prevent such a disaster in the first place? Preventing disaster. The concept of diverting a planet might seem like science fiction, but it's a topic of serious consideration among some scientists. Dr. Sung-Wook Pak from MIT has proposed using paintballs to alter an asteroid's trajectory by changing its albedo reflectivity, thus leveraging solar radiation pressure over time. Applying such methods to Mercury would be exponentially more complex. However, if given enough time, centuries or millennia, small forces could accumulate to produce significant orbital changes. Solar sails, massive reflective surfaces deployed in space, could harness the sun's energy to gradually push Mercury off course. Another speculative idea involves harnessing gravitational assists. By directing large asteroids or comets to fly close to Mercury, we could use their gravitational pull to alter its orbit. This would require precise calculations and control over celestial bodies, technologies we currently lack but might develop in the future. In terms of policy and funding, significant investments would be needed. The US government might allocate resources similar to or exceeding the Manhattan Project or the Apollo program. Public-private partnerships could accelerate innovation, with tech giants like Google and Apple contributing to computational modeling and communication efforts. Educational institutions would play a crucial role. Universities like MIT, Caltech, and Stanford could focus research on planetary defense strategies. Scholarships and grants might be offered to encourage students to enter fields relevant to solving this crisis. International law would also need to adapt. Treaties like the Outer Space Treaty of 1967 might be revisited to address the use of nuclear devices in space or the manipulation of celestial bodies. Conclusion. As we conclude this cosmic thought experiment, it's clear that while the collision of Earth with Mercury is an incredibly remote possibility, the exercise of imagining it opens our minds to the vast and complex universe we inhabit. It reminds us that while we have achieved remarkable technological advancements, there is still much we don't control or fully understand. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through space and imagination here at TM What If. We hope this episode has sparked your curiosity and provided a deeper appreciation for the delicate balance that allows life on Earth to thrive. If you found this exploration fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to TM What If for more intriguing dives into the unknown. Your support helps us continue bringing you content that challenges the boundaries of possibility. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think humanity could unite to prevent such a disaster? What technologies or strategies would you propose? Share your ideas and insights in the comments below. Stay curious, stay informed, and until next time, keep looking up at the stars. You never know what wonders or challenges the universe might reveal.